So I've got a problem. I love YouTube. YouTube is so much fun to me. I love the fact that I can make these videos and that I can interact with you guys and I have 80 subscribers now. It might seem small, but that's huge for me. I'm so excited about that. I love making videos. I love making content that I can show cool things I've learned in the studio and cool things that I'm excited about, right? Music technology is one of the coolest things in the world. But I have another problem. And that is, I'm not finishing anything. I'm not actually finishing music. Creatively, I'm doing a lot of cool things. I've got loops I'm making, I've got samples I'm making, I've got all these interesting ideas, specifically like with the MPC Live, right? I've been doing a ton of videos with the MPC Live and really showing off like, hey, I can make this beat this way, or how I've been just like sitting at this piano back here, which you can kind of see, and make a song or a beat out of that, sampling that piano, which I would have never done before. And that is really cool because for a long time, I wasn't creating, I was just trying to finish things. Now I've hit the exact opposite. I'm not finishing things. I'm not actually completing music and putting it out into the world. And that's because of a lot of different problems I have as a person. Like I am always trying to make things better and I always want to give my fans, or what lack of fans I have, the people in the world, I want to give them the best product possible. And I feel that I keep learning, right? I make something and then I realize, oh, well, hold on, I could tweak this a little bit better. I can make this a little bit better. And that's a huge problem that I have. I just keep doing it. I don't know how to stop. I need to actually cut the ties and say this song is done and finish this piece of music or finish this idea so that way that I can get to more of the song, because I just keep working on things and I want them to sound perfect. And I'm so obsessed with this idea of perfectionism that I'm not actually producing or publishing any music. Now I play in 2 music projects, Chelsey and the Noise and Cat Named Monkey. Chelsey and the Noise, I don't know, crazy names. Chelsey and the Noise is a electronic, goth, metal, rock, synthwave pop amalgamation of sounds that I love. And we released 2 new singles last year called Can't Shake This and Chewy Fruit Center. You can check us out on Spotify and the links in the description. And those songs were amazing. I love those songs. So they sound probably some of the best producing I've ever done and best mixing. As from a technical standpoint, as well as a melody standpoint, they are absolutely outstanding and I love them. However, right now, me and Chelsey are in a weird place because Chelsey's working a ton right now, as so am I. And I've also got this YouTube thing going on. I've also got other music I'm trying to release. So we're kind of in like a little bit of a creative pause trying to finish this Chelsey and the Noise album. But I have also this other music project called Cat Named Monkey, which I started working at the beginning of COVID. And the idea behind Cat Named Monkey was I wanted to capture like this feeling that I had when I first discovered electronic music when I was like 19 in college or 20 in college, where you found this music that like certain people like absolutely loved, and you got with these groups of people that you could just talk about this music for hours, and you would go to parties and you'd ask the DJ to play like electronic music and he'd only play hip hop, but you're like, dude, can you please play this song? Can you play Seek Bromance from Tim Berg, aka Avicii, please? Those types of conversations, right? Or just the feeling of going to Coachella for the first time, right? That was so amazing. And I wanted to capture that in a narrative somehow. So I created this idea of Cat Named Monkey, which follows this DJ music producer who's named Monkey, and he's a cat. I named him that because I literally have a cat named Monkey. And he would go around through all these adventures of ultimately enjoying electronic music and house music and producing it and getting people involved. And the idea of friendship is there too. It's a really cool story. I really like it. And I did all this work for that. I released my first EP called Wildcat 1.0. It was great. I was really proud of it. Looking back, I could have done a lot better on the mixing, a ton better, but I was super stoked with it. I released 2 Christmas albums since then, and those were much more casual. They were just fun. You know, I didn't really feel like I needed to do the most amazing piece of music with those. They're just something I want to bring out to the world. And those were great. But in the past 3 years, I've wrote a whole album. I have an album of like 12 tracks with interludes, so like 20 tracks total, of this amazing story of Monkey as a music producer gonna play his first ever concert or first ever show with his friends, and how he gets into trouble along the way and all these different things. And I love it. And the damn thing is like 90% done, to be honest with you. I just need to do the interludes. I need to cut the dialogue and put it all together as a script accordingly. I need to do the Foley, so like the sounds that are going on while people are talking during the interludes, I need to finish that. And then I just need to mix the songs just a little bit better. Monkey! And I need to mix the songs just a little bit better. And that's what I was saying earlier, where I keep wanting to hunt for perfectionism. I keep wanting to get perfect. And that's where I need to stop, because I literally just need to sit in this room for a weekend and finish the freaking album. That's what I need to do. But I don't do that. Like, in my head, I always want to perfect, I always want to be better. And I can't actually spend the time to do that. You can hear how worked up I'm getting because I'm actually emotional about this. It's something I've been trying to be better about, and I just can't do it. So today, I'm making a pledge to all of you that I'm gonna finish things. I wanna finish one song per week. I don't want it to have mastered or the music, the marketing or anything like that. I just wanna have a song mixed, ready to go, either sent off for mastering, or if I'm gonna do the mastering, I master it and just be done with it. That is my goal, one song per week until the end of time. Even if I don't release the damn thing, I just wanna finish that process. Now, how I'm gonna get to this solution is twofold. One is what I'm calling the analog solution. And this is the thing that I can play with and enjoy and like work on this in bed, wherever I go. I'm just gonna start bringing this with me. And this is the Freedom Planner, or maybe it's called, maybe I've changed the name, but basically what it is, it's one of those macro planners. Like, you can go in here, you have day-to-day scheduling, but you also can like write up little goals that accomplish a big goal. And my wife has been trying to get me to do this for 3 years. This is my third book. The first two I've had were all dated and never used them, and they expired, so I couldn't use them. Luckily, she got me an undated one, which I think was pretty cool. God bless you, Rachel. And now I'm gonna go through and actually start writing daily tasks down, which will get me to that idea of finishing a song a week. It's also gonna help me with YouTubing, right? I can make more content this way as well. These are really cool, but they do kind of have this weird like philosophy you have to buy into, which I don't love. Like, they gave me all these stickers. Like, you can see one says, "You can do it." The other says, "Party time." Good vibes only. I approve myself. Like, I don't care about those things at all. Like, that's not who I am. I just need to put pen to paper and accomplish goals. So I'm excited for that piece of it. I'm excited to get in here and to finish things. So ultimately, each day I'm gonna go in here and write a schedule of what do I need to do to get to that song per week. Here's the song at the end of the week. Here's all the goals I need to accomplish that. And here's the time I'm gonna put that here, right? So this is gonna be the time management tool. This is the tool that says how many hours per day I have to finish something, and I'm gonna go in here and schedule it accordingly. The next piece is the digital piece, and that is a Google sheet, a Google Drive doc sheet, whatever you wanna call it. And I'm referring this as the master track list, okay? And now what the master track list essentially is a amalgamation of all the different tracks I'm working on and what I need to do for them. I first kind of came up with this idea when I was working on a live set. And it was like my first time showing all the Cat Named Monkey stuff. You can see a little clip of it right here.
This is a story about a cat named Monkey. This is a story about a cat named Monkey.
And it was super fun because I had to get all my songs ready to DJ, and I had a limited amount of time to do that. So I needed to make some sort of program list. And in my day job, I do a lot of project management as well. So this was a good way of using that skill into something I love, like a passion, right? How do you project manage a passion? How do you make it a business? I guess this is how, I'm not sure. So here are some shots of the master track sheet, as well as the first song I'm gonna finish in this new process of finishing one song per week. This song I think is gonna be called Kiss You Like This, or I haven't decided, and that's part of the stuff I have to finish this week. Or it could be called, what's the other thing it says? It's a Celine Dion song. It pulls Celine Dion a cappella into it. It's All Coming Back to Me, right? I took those two lines from the song a cappella, pitched them down, and I'm gonna finish that song pretty soon. Pretty excited. So I'm gonna play a little bit of that song so you can hear it, while also showing you some shots of the master track sheet. So let's break down the master track sheet real quick. The overall goal is to capture all of the songs that I'm going to finish. Now, when I say a song I'm gonna finish, it means I've made the decision that I wanna get this song to a point where it's commercially ready. If it's for myself or if I'm gonna release it, right? And that doesn't really matter. That's up to me to figure out later. But all I ultimately need to know is I'm gonna finish this song. Like the Celine Dion song. I can't actually release that, so it doesn't really help me to put it on my Spotify. But I can put it on SoundCloud, do a free download thing, so I know I'm still gonna release that song and make it commercially viable. So the first column we have in this master track list is the track title, right? What is the working track title, the finished track title of the song? And that is kind of kicks off all of the different rows across, right? So our first column is track title. The second column is key. What key is the song in? F sharp minor, G minor, A minor, yada, yada, yada. And then after that, we have the Camelot key. I'm gonna be DJing using Camelot keys because back when I first started DJing, we didn't have that cool little green sync that showed you when tracks work. So you use Camelot key, or else you had because you either had to use the circle of fifths, which I never memorized, or use Camelot key, and that's what I used, Camelot key. Made it really easy. Next to that, we have BPM, right? How fast is the track? That way I can align it with other tracks that I'm going to be DJing with, and I already kind of know this information because it's in my Ableton DAW, and getting out Ableton is so much better because I don't have to run mix and key or analyze it in Rekordbox or anything after the fact. This next section is what's done. We have arrangement, mixed, vocals, and approved and mastered. So arrangement means, does the song have all the pieces in it that I want? Is there anything in the song that is missing, right? Does it have a breakdown I need? Does it need hi-hats, different hi-hats? All those different types I consider part of the arrangement. And that has to be the first thing that's fully done. Next up, is it mixed, right? Do I have the song in a good mixed position where I like it? The third one is vocals. So I actually probably should put this before mixed because technically I think of mixing as being completely done. But vocals means like, hey, I'm singing on a lot of these tracks. Are they in a place that they're ready where they scratch vocals, or are they ready to go on the track now? Are they polished and ready to go? I also have a section called Lenny Approved. Now I have a mentor named Lenny Kaiser. I work with a lot of my music, and ultimately I make sure he approves everything. So I'll have a meeting with him, I'll have a 1 hour session with him, we'll look into the song, make any changes, but ultimately I want him to say, hey, this song sounds good, I wouldn't change anything, or hey, let's look at these hi-hats, let's look at this kick drum, yada, yada, yada. The next part I have is mastered. Is the track mastered, or am I going to master it myself? Like what part of it in the mastering phase is it done? And I do that after the Lenny Kaiser approval stage because I need to make sure that it's ready to go, right? I need him to approve it, nothing else to change, and then send it off to mastering. And that at least mixing is done, or send it off to myself for mastering as well. I've got a couple other columns in here like release order, basically just trying to show in what order am I gonna release this music. Is this part of an upcoming show, right? Am I gonna use this in an upcoming show or not? And from there I'll have different rows of columns of the show itself. And then release method, am I publish this? I'm gonna put this for free, which I mentioned earlier, right? Is it gonna be published, or is it gonna be a SoundCloud download kind of thing? Next up is what is the album title, right? Do I have an album title for this? They're obviously gonna be collected and grouped by albums, so I need to make sure I have an album title for that. And finally, this is my favorite column, is I have this thing called DJ notes and VJ notes. The DJ notes allows me to say, hey, I've played this track before. I know it sounds really good with another track, whether it's what track I produced or a track I use. So for example, AIX2, which is off of my Wildcat 1.0 EP I mentioned earlier, that is gonna be layered with Technologic from Daft Punk. So when I play that out, I have the Technologic intro, buy it, break it, and I put that over a certain part of the song and it lines up perfectly. And I figured that out one day, and so I wouldn't forget it, I put it here in the DJ notes. And then finally, VJ notes is a section I have for when I ultimately create visuals for these, right? Well, I want to tell a story with this project, so each song is going to have a start of visuals that go with it, and I want to make sure I kind of have an idea for those visuals going into all this. So if I think of an idea, I just put it there and I capture it. And that's all in the All tab, and that is the most important tab in the whole sheet. Hands down, the All tab is, if you take one thing away from this video, just do the All tab. It's gonna make your life a lot better. I also have a couple other things here, like the social media calendar. So hey, if I'm publishing things for this project, right? Do I have a social media calendar showing where I'm gonna produce? You guys might wanna do that separate. It's totally up to you. I also have, hey, here's an album I'm gonna be working on. These are a selection songs of the album. What's the album order look like? Is there anything I need to do within those pieces? Or like the interludes I mentioned earlier, those pieces need to be featured somewhere in that album so I can actually realize what they are, because they're not really on the all track list because they're interludes. So really, it's all up to you. There's no right or wrong on how to do this. This is just some ways that I've thought of doing it. The last couple of sheets that we do have here is also for, hey, is there a set that I'm preparing for? So I call this one Grant set because there's a guy named Grant that I played for. That was the clip you saw earlier. And I just want to say, hey, what are the songs I'm playing in the set? Are they ready to go? Where are they at? I can also do some cool VLOOKUPing because I think I'm an Excel sheet wizard. And I can say, hey, pull in this data from this tab, yada, yada, yada. God bless having an e-commerce job as well, because it allows you to do Excel spreadsheet stuff. Anyways, the last tab I'm gonna talk about, which is something that I don't really use as much, but I probably should, is the per track tab, right? So hey, is this track done? What needs to be done in this track that I might need to fine tune, right? Because the other one doesn't really have a whole lot of notes, it's more like expanded. But maybe for this song that I was talking about earlier, the Kiss You Like This, or the It's All Coming Back to Me, whatever I'm gonna call it yet, that one may need some more specific notes. And I already know what those are, right? I know that the kick drum is too hot, I know the clap is too hot, and I know the vocals are too hot from my mastering session I had recently. So I know I need to fix those things and send it off back to mastering, and then I'll be in a good spot. But I need to actually capture those notes somewhere, right? So I'm doing it all in here. And that's basically it. That's the entire sheet. That's everything is right there. I hope you guys like this video. And also I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for everyone who's been following along with for me. We're at 80 subscribers. I'm super stoked. When we hit 100, we are going to start the 100 subscriber giveaway, which means I'm doing monthly giveaways of some of my favorite gear and some of my favorite plugins, so you guys can do some of the cool stuff that I do. Or maybe you just want like a secondary, Euro rack module you might already have. Cool, let's do it. Let's talk about why you need to. But I'll be giving stuff away every month going on. I'll be doing videos about the stuff I'm giving away too, so be on the lookout for that. And please subscribe if you like my vibes so you can be aware of when we do those giveaways and also other videos like this. So yeah, just a huge thank you to everybody. I'm really stoked to be doing this in my living room counter and just talking to a camera. This is my third take doing this, so it's been about an hour of me sitting here because I keep screwing stuff up. Whether it's like the recording, I wasn't recording on something, or my dog, who was literally right down here, keeps talking to me or just making noises and stuff. But yeah, thanks for following along. I appreciate all you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna leave you with one last note, just showing my appreciation. So, all right, take care.